Escape from New York, filmed by John Carpenter and released in 1981, is a futuristic post-apocalyptic film taking place in 1997. It does include a maximum security prison, which has basically just become the entire island of Manhattan after a large earthquake, or further separated from the mainland, and was fully secured and turned into a prison. So it's very much in the spirit of a futuristic Australia, for lack of a better term. Prisoners are sent to live there and are basically banned from citizenship in the United States. Unfortunately, the President of the United States, who is played by Donald Pleasence, who is also known as Dr. Loomis by all of the Halloween fans, happens to be flying near the island when he is hijacked and crashes onto the island. He is then taken prisoner, and Snake Plissken, who is played by Kurt Russell, is called to come to his aid. If he is able to save the president, then he will be pardoned for all of his past crimes. So Snake Plissken is basically marooned into going along with it as he is injected with some sort of a substance which will kill him within X amount of hours. So he goes along with the ruse, believing it to be true, heads over to Manhattan and does touch down and make a few contacts. Along the way, he does meet a few of his older friends, and they eventually do manage to make their way to locate the president. Unfortunately, Snake is also temporarily taken captive and forced at one point to take part in sort of a gladiator match in a boxing ring. He basically just does win and manages to escape with the distraction of Brain and his girlfriend, who is played by Adrienne Barbeau. Basically caused the distraction of the president is missing or no longer where he should be. It's a very high action modern day sci-fi film. It's a very great film, but I honestly have a preference for the sequel, Escape from L.A., which most people really don't seem to care for too much. It's a film that I did watch a lot in my childhood, and for great reason. There are a lot of great action scenes, as well as Kurt Russell walking around in his black clad outfit. And obviously it is a film that I did watch for a great many reasons. Aside from, he plays the role very well. He looks basically exactly the same way he did. The sequel, Escape from L.A., was released in 1996, which ironically was the year before the first movie took place. So the film was released in 1996 and takes place in 2013, which will be next year. It's just a bunch of interesting little ironies that I've noticed in watching these films. Also features, in addition to Kurt Russell, my other two favorite actors, which are Pam Grier in the role of Hershey. She's basically, in the film, what does make this role very interesting for me is she is obviously a woman playing the role of a man pretending to be a woman, which is ironic because basically all they really did was just alter her voice for the film to give the impression that she was a man who is either transgendered or had a sex change. The other scene, which involves the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills, features Bruce Campbell. It's a great scene, very well played, and it speaks very highly for itself. You basically do have Bruce Campbell, who is a psychotic surgeon, supplying body parts to other deformed creatures, lowly rejects who have been altered by way too many surgeries, and it's his role to supply body parts to keep them alive. So in this scene, we have a actress which to me seems very unknown, but is very lucky not only to have been groped by Bruce Campbell, but playing alongside Kurt Russell, and I'm pretty sure that's the common grounds or realm of thought regarding that woman's role. They both are films that I enjoy very much, and they are films that I did watch frequently within my youth. They basically are almost the same film. They do touch on a lot of similar plot lines and scenes. Within the first film, we have Kurt Russell, who is wrangled into rescuing the president. In the sequel, we have Kurt Russell, who is once again recruited, in this case, to rescue the president's daughter, who has run away to LA, which separated from the mainland from a very large earthquake, ran away with yet another important document, which obviously sets up the whole premise of the film. So she runs off with some revolutionary sort of anti-hero wannabe, and it is Kurt Russell's duty to retrieve the documents that she obtained. Along the way, Kurt Russell is once again injected by a virus or lethal strain that will kill him within X amount of hours, and he, of course, falls for it again. This is a film that I did watch frequently in my younger days. It is a film that I really did enjoy, and for various reasons. It's also just a very high action-packed sci-fi thriller. It may be predictable at times, and may be also considered a very close rewrite of the original film, as certain scenes are very similar or seem to be replacements of the original scenes. Regardless, this is a film that I do really enjoy. All in all, I think both films are wonderful. Obviously, the first is a cult classic. Most people do appreciate it more than the second, but you do have those rare fans who do appreciate both, myself being one of them. And aside from Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., one may assume that may have been the only time Kurt Russell has ever donned an eye patch, but anybody remember Captain Ron? I definitely do. So that is basically it for this week. Just a few quick thoughts on another film series that I have enjoyed. I would like to return in a couple of weeks to do a short film retrospective of some of my favorite Kurt Russell films. If any of you have any recommendations or feel you do have a great example of Kurt Russell's badassery, feel free to forward that my way, and I will take that into consideration when pulling together the retrospective. But until then, have a great weekend, and I will see you when I see you.